Hello my lovely potatoes and welcome back to another video. Yeah, this time with a voiceover for a change. So I was in the mood to do something a little bit different since I really adored those gouache brushes that I found on the Clip Studio asset store. I thought, why not try out something interesting? So I took a photo of a sketch in my sketchbook and just painted over that, and I gotta say, that's fun. That's really fun. I didn't take a scan because that would just be too flat, and I really wanted to incorporate the drawing tools that I use, so I just put in that weird pencil that you can see on the bottom, and it really makes it look like I painted on top of that sketchbook. And I tell you what, it wouldn't be able to take that gouache paint if I would actually use it there. Though I gotta say, it doesn't really quite look like I used gouache paint on that one. It looks more like I used oil, but that's not too bad because I still like how it looks. I mean, it's always been something that I do, that I just use traditional sketches because they're a lot quicker for me, and then just paint on top of them in digital form. I don't know why, but my traditional sketches turn out a lot better than my digital ones, and my digital paintings turn usually out a lot better than my traditional ones. So I should probably just stick with digital painting, even though I sometimes need to work my traditional muscles. So I will probably paint traditionally from time to time if my brain really craves the paint. However, I really wanted to do this piece because I wanted to experiment with colors. Just like with the last one, I used one base color for the shading and pretty much just painted the light on top of it, which turns out to be a really good way to make interesting shadows. Not gonna lie, because I figured out painting on the light is a lot more effective for my brain to work than trying to paint on the shadows, at least in the long run. And if the values are still a little bit too flat, I can still put on top a multiply layer and then call it a day with a bit of a darker shade of purple or whatever color I used there as a shading color. So actually, this approach is really helpful for my digital progress. Jesus, what a word. Digital. Okay, there we go. I can say that word. Digital. God, and I think I'm trying to talk a bit too quick. So that kind of happens, which also makes my tongue twist and turn in really weird ways. It's something I need to get used to sometimes. However, I really love how this turned out. I really love the way those little shapes in the eyes turned out. I really tried to make them so that they not touch, because I wanted to keep that purple in the inner of the eye. I really wanted to keep at least some of it. So figuring out a pattern that is trippy enough but doesn't cover all the purple, it took me a bit. Also, I was still trying that very sharp edge in the shadows, but at some point I just did decide that this piece was not really working with it. I mean, if you can remember my last one that I posted, then you can still remember those sharp and reddish edges. Maybe I just put it in there in the video somewhere. And this one just didn't quite work with it. So this is the picture of this week, I guess. Yeah, and I hope you do like it. I definitely do. And until next time, bye bye.